It's Douglas Coleman.
Howdy, howdy, ho. Hey, hey, hey. Ho, ho, ho. Welcome to the Douglas Coleman Show. It's me, Douglas Coleman. How are ya? How are ya? We got a good show for you today. Something a little bit different. You know, normally we have a guest, but I've tried to have a guest on every week. Then I realized, I don't necessarily need to have a guest every week, because we've got so many great regular cast of characters that are on this show that maybe once in a while we'll just feature us. And we'll play some music and just talk and just do something a little bit different. So today's show is going to be just that. Before we get started, though, I want to give a thank you to my guests, my musical guests from last week's Musical Showcase Special, because it was a very successful show. We had a lot of listeners, a lot of great comments on Facebook and Twitter, and I think people really liked the show. So I'd like to give a shout out and a big thank you to Diane Cameron Elam, to heavy metal band Grind, to Colin Klein, and to Joe Gandy for being a part of the showcase. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. And maybe we'll do another showcase sometime in the future. Today, we're going to feature music later on in the show from the fabulous Ladylake Entertainment roster. And we've got 3 coming up. I don't know if you want to call it 3 or 4, but it's 4 people, but 3 acts, I guess. We're going to feature Laurie Diamond and Fred Abatelli, also a band called American Beauties, and a guy, singer-songwriter named Rick Winnow. So they'll be coming up a little bit later on. But first, let me get my co-host out here. She is the president and founder of Ladylake Entertainment, the always light and fluffy Ms. Cindy Diadamo. Hey, Cindy, how are you?
Hi, Douglas. How are you? I'm great.
I'm doing good. Is Fred and Laurie, that's considered one person, right?
Well, yeah, they're a duo, but I would call them an act together, yes.
Okay, because I wasn't sure how to introduce them as 2 separate people or as just one act, so I went with the one act. I wanted to give a kind of an online plug, and are you allowed to plug somebody online if they don't know you're giving them a plug? I mean, it's not like using someone's music without their permission,
I wouldn't see why not.
Because I'm doing them a favor, actually, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to give a plug to somebody that I discovered online this past week. I don't know how old he is, but he doesn't look much older than about 18 or 19. He is an amazing musician. I mean, I haven't been blown away by a musician like this in a while. And his Facebook page is facebook.com/theotherjoshturner, all one word. Apparently there is a big star, country star named Josh Turner, so he is the other Josh Turner. This kid, I've seen play at least 5 different instruments. I've seen him playing guitar, bass, mandolin, banjo, and harmonica. And he's a decent singer. And what's more amazing is that he's doing music that I grew up with, as well as doing classical music. He's doing jazz music. He's doing like every genre you could imagine. I saw him do, and I think you saw this, Cindy, was that one I sent you of doing Martha, My Dear on a banjo.
Right.
Which was incredible. I've also seen him do the song Funky Town. Remember that song?
Oh, geez. Yeah, of course.
And he did all the parts, and he did like a split screen video. I shouldn't say all the parts, but he did the 2 guitar parts. And then he had another guy come in to do the sax bit, and another guy come in to do the violin. And then there's a little video clip of him dancing around with some girls and stuff. It's really funny. And it's great. I mean, he covered that whole thing. Also, he did, with 2 other guys, the entire Judy Blue Eyes suite, which as a musician, I know that one ain't not easy to pull off. That is a tough song with all those high harmonies, with all the intricate guitar parts, and that song changes. it goes through this change in a slow and then fast and this and oh my God.
It's like a lot of little songs put together.
Right, exactly. Well, it's written about Judy Collins, who was Stephen Still's
Right.
girlfriend, I guess, for a while. I don't know if they were ever married, or do you know that? Do you know if they were married?
I don't think that they were, but back in the day, all of those bands that were very much the thing, there were the guys who were the big singers, and then there were the chicks that were the big singers, and they all kind of swirled around together. So there was all kind of couples like Carly Simon and Mick Jagger, and
James
all
Taylor.
the big people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all switched back, forth, this way, that way, the other way.
Right, and then Joni Mitchell was the other one who was kind of hooked up with Crosby, Stills, and Nash in some way or form. She was in that group too. Yeah, a whole bunch of them. We were talking a little bit earlier about record stores and vinyl albums, and you were explaining something to Jen. Why don't you tell that story again, because it's pretty good.
Well, I was just saying that there's such a difference today in what a star is and what a celebrity is because of the availability of information. We were discussing, that music is given away for free, and there are shows like ours, which you can listen to that don't cost you anything. And so does it diminish the quality of what's put out? Probably. Does it diminish the value? Well, it diminishes that people want to pay for it because if it's free and at your fingertips, why would you? I was explaining to Jen back when you and I were growing up, Douglas, let's say you had a favorite star, and I was using Led Zeppelin as my example. I started to appreciate their music when I was in high school, but what was out at that time, Stairway to Heaven had already been the big thing.
Right.
And then, they were into the next thing, which was Physical Graffiti. And then they were going into the next thing, which was like, Presence and In Through the Outdoor and all of that stuff. So what I was looking for was the real old Led Zeppelin, which would have been like Led Zeppelin 1. So you would walk into a record store and you were limited to what you could purchase by what stock they had on hand. So you would look up the name of the band, sort through the whatever records were in that rack, and that's what you could buy that day. Either you bought from there or you didn't get it. So I grew up in a suburb of Baltimore, so we lived somewhat close to Washington, D.C., in that we could go as a weekend trip. There's a part of Washington, D.C. called Georgetown. I don't know if you know it or you don't.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Back in the day, it was very bohemian, hippie, almost like a little bit Parisian, somewhat like San Francisco. And they had the coolest store, which was called Penguin Feather. Penguin
Nice
Feather
name.
was a 2-floor record store complete with memorabilia. It was just like Christmas going there because not only could you find the obscure artists that maybe only have one vinyl record out, you could find Japanese imports of David Bowie. You could find, little singles of Fleetwood Mac that weren't available in any other store. So I'd have X amount of money set aside for my trip, for my vinyl shopping. And you could literally spend a whole day in there just looking at all the cool stuff. Back then, to find information, let's say I was a huge Stevie Nicks fan. I had to join literally a fan club where you mailed something in the real mail with an envelope and a stamp.
Oh, yeah,
and sat and waited till they sent you the fan letter from the president of the club. But now all you do is type into the browser. If you type Stevie Nicks images into the browser, you see everything from her as her high school senior picture up till now. You can read all of the, who is her guy she's dating, who did she date. To me, it diminishes from the mystique of what a star used to be.
Right. It's true.
How do you feel about that?
It's very true. Well, I had this conversation almost exactly with Matt Kasar when he was on the show a month ago. And yeah, I agree with you completely. I think all of that is gone. And the kids that are growing up today don't have that anymore because all the information is right there at your fingertips. Celebrities as well as music, because now music you can simply click on, and most people don't want to pay for it. You can just go on YouTube and run the video. It has cheapened the whole concept of celebrity and rock star, because they were really up on a pedestal back in the day when you had very little information about them. I'll give you my example of Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin never appeared on TV that I can remember. I know they appeared on some European shows or stuff, but those didn't get broadcast in America, not in those days. So I don't ever remember seeing them on television. They occasionally showed up in a magazine or in the music entertainment section of the newspaper. But
it was really rare, though.
Yeah, but the first thing that came out that I remember being able to see them was The Song Remains the Same movie.
Right.
And that had the midnight showings at many theaters around the country. And that was like a regular thing to go and watch that and smoke whatever stuff we were smoking in those days and just watch that and just be completely in awe. Now, I saw them 3 times live in concert. With the film, you were like right up close and personal. Concert is great. I love the concerts I went to, but the film was awesome. But that was it. That was the point. That was it. That was the only thing that I had to go and see where I could actually get a little bit closer to my heroes. Now, there's no more mystique. You know, everybody knows what their house looks like, where they live. You can put their address in the Google map and get a street view of it. It's a real double-edged sword. In one sense, I like that, but in another sense, it's kind of destroyed that magic that we had as kids of this real kind of idol worship of our heroes. And the kids growing up today, they just don't have that.
That kind of goes the same with film stars, because I remember my mom had subscriptions to things like Star and Screen. I probably have the title wrong, but there were these magazines that featured, the cover would be like Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. Either they were getting married or divorced, because they did that so frequently. And she had so many husbands, nobody could keep up with her.
8 of them. That
was the mystique of Hollywood, because in real life back in those days, most people didn't have that many husbands.
Although Zsa Zsa Gabor, I think, had pretty close to that many.
Back in those days, when a movie star went somewhere and the press was doing photography, sometimes it was publicity stunts, like it would have everyone who's appearing in a new film out to dinner at whatever she restaurant, and the ladies would all be, wearing the hair pieces and the elbow length gloves and the sequined gowns and the dripping in the jewelry. Even if it was on loan, it was to create this beautiful Hollywood image for the fans, because we really were the fans. We were the ones that would pay whatever it was to go to the movies and buy the magazines and whatever it was that was going on with them. But now it's like the paparazzi is everywhere. They're hiding behind a tree or a building, and they're getting somebody coming from the gym or the coffee shop with their hair pinned up in a clip and their sweatpants on. It's not quite the same as and I'm sure the big celebrities back in the day didn't always look their best. They were at home at their house without their fake eyelashes on in their bedroom slippers like everybody else.
Right, but they were never photographed or doing Periscope or doing webcam or doing selfies. It didn't exist back then.
Right. So now
you got dressed up if you were going to have your picture taken.
Absolutely. And when you were going to attend something, you had, they had gowns made custom for their figures, the ladies, and the colors that suited them. And, their hair was always beautifully done and their makeup was done. I mean, of course it was an image, but that's what Hollywood was. It was about image and stars. And today, what's celebrity is kind of try to do the biggest, most scandalous thing that's going to shock or upset the most people, because that way more people will click on the picture or look at it, or, even if it's negative, in a negative way, to talk about it. That's what a celebrity is to some degree, which I think it's sad for the kids.
It's funny you bring this up, because I saw on Yahoo today there was a question asked, and they didn't exactly give the answer, but I came up with an answer for them. And the question that was asked was, why do so many celebrities strip down to dress up on the red carpet at the VMAs? And the answer that I came up with is compensation for lack of any real musical talent. People staring at bare tits and ass tend to forget that this person has no real talent. That's my answer.
The singers today, the people putting out the albums, will their records in 40 years, will they stand alone? I don't think so.
I doubt it. In fact, they're not even standing alone in 4 months. That's how disposable music has become. You know, there is nobody out there who's, if they're flavor of the week, that's it. Next week it'll be somebody else, and next week it'll be somebody else.
Like, I can name people who were famous when I was growing up who still would sell arena seats. Maybe not as many as they did, but they will still sell an arena. Like Fleetwood Mac will still sell an arena.
Right.
You know, so
McCartney will still sell an arena.
Right. So who of this current group, who will sell an arena in that many years?
Well, I'd like to say nobody. I can't imagine kids that are in their 20s now, when they're in their 50s, are going to go to see Smack My Bitch Up. I don't see that as a reality. Okay, and Periscope Girl, hello, how are you? Oh, thank you, Periscope Girl. Another brilliant report. And we'll have Periscope Girl back surfacing from the North Atlantic next week. Hi, John. How are you? So, what's going on today in the world of show business? Well, okay, first of all, he spent $100,000 to look like Justin Bieber. Does he look like Justin Bieber? Okay, well, it doesn't cost $100,000 to get a haircut like Justin Bieber. I'd like to see a picture of this guy before the surgery to see the comparison, you know, like the before and after picture. You know, there's a lot of women that I've read that are trying to look like Kim Kardashian. You know, they're having the surgery to make their ass the size of a bus, and I don't understand that with people. I mean, why do you want to live someone else's life? Can you imagine going down a narrow aisle on the airplane? You'd be bashing into everyone. So is somebody's life that miserable that they just so want to take the identity of someone else? I mean, is that what it's about? Self-image problems? I don't know. That whole thing about impersonating someone else's life just doesn't quite sit right with me. I think the moral of this story is you should just be who you are and try to make a go of it at that, instead of trying to copy and be someone else. There was no suicide note or anything? No? Yeah, that's true. Okay, John. Well, thank you for that report. Very informative. We'll probably talk to you next week. And now, once again, it's time for Ladylake Corner.
Welcome to Ladylake Corner for the week of September 1st through September 8th. You can find our talented roster at reverbnation.com/label/Ladylake Music for music samples, press, photos, and upcoming shows. This week, we are proud to announce that our Boston area acts, the award-winning duo Lori Diamond and Fred Abatelli, and folk rockers American Beauties, are both coming up in the 2015 Keene Music Festival in Keene, New Hampshire, on Saturday, September 5th, from 11 a.m. through 10 p.m. American Beauties take the stage at 12 p.m. and Lori and Fred perform at 3 p.m. on the gazebo stage. For more information, please visit KeeneMusicFestival.org, LDFAmusic.com, AmericanBeautiesMusic.com. Also, our singer Rick Winnow, who has been the co-host of the Ruin Who TV show in New York City this summer, will be playing an extended music series with Pat D'Annunzio of the Smithereens at the Crossroads in New Jersey. This series will begin on September the 9th. And that's it for this week's Ladylake Corner.
Okay, thank you, Cindy, for that Ladylake Corner. And we'll be right back after this commercial from our sponsor with music from the Ladylake roster. Bondi Guest House in Jomtien Beach, Pattaya, Thailand. And their guest house offers beachfront accommodations with all rooms having sea views. Some rooms have balconies overlooking the sea as well. The Jomtien nightlife is within an easy stroll, and the beach is right outside your door. The attractions of Pattaya City nightlife are also just a few minutes ride away. Food is available 24 hours and offer a selection of European and Thai food. The owners, Colin and Malcolm, look forward to welcoming you to the Bondi. And if you book early for October 2015, rooms start at 600 baht per night, which is approximately $18. For more information, email Colin at bondipattaya, BONDIPATTAYA, at yahoo.co.uk. And if you do contact them, please mention that you heard about it on the Douglas Coleman Show. Okay, well, we are back, and we're going to get to the music right now. So let's see, who do you want to play first, Cindy?
I think, how about Lori Diamond and Fred Abatelli?
Okay, sounds good. You want to give a little quick background on them for people that might not know who they are?
Lori Diamond and Fred Abatelli are a Boston area award-winning folk/contemporary music duo. They actually have a brand new fall schedule out. You can see all of the shows that are coming up for the fall at ldfamusic.com.
The song we have is called Wayfaring Stranger. So let's have a listen to that.
going there to see my father. I'm going there no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. Now I know dark clouds will gather around me. Know my way is rough and steep, yeah. Yet beautiful fields lie just before me. In God's redeeming vigils keep, I
Yeah, very nice. That was a good song.
That to me is the kind of music that deserves to be signed by a label.
Oh, definitely. You know how I am. I have the worst opinion of the major labels right now. So I would say, well, she won't get signed because she has real talent. You know?
Right. But I mean, she's absolutely gorgeous. She looks like an actress. I mean, she's just stunningly.
I've seen her picture. You know who she looks like? She looks like that actress that was in the movie The Game with Michael Douglas and Sean Penn. The blonde girl. She played Christine. And I don't remember the actress's name, of course. But if anybody remembers it, please let us know. I can look it up on Google. But yeah, she really looks like that woman that played in that movie.
I call it Blonde Soul, what she sings.
Yeah, definitely. It has a very kind of gospel-y soul feel, that song. It's good. I like it.
I think and Fred's guitar, I just think they're so amazing. And these are the types of people that deserve record deals, that deserve, notoriety and celebrity. And I think it's just a very sad statement that something that's that freaking obviously good won't be picked up, but then some stuff that's this prefabbed, auto-tuned, kids in little whatever is what gets the record deals. I don't get it.
Well, you know what? It seems like it's gone 180 degrees. The stuff that's indie should be the major label, and the stuff that's the major label should be indie.
Right.
And I don't understand it. I really don't. Okay, so the next one we've got up is American Beauties.
American Beauties I found by accident. I'm friends with a guy named Joe Sweet, and he runs the Utica Music and Arts Festival. When he was opening the festival way back in maybe 2008, I'm not sure which year it was, he didn't have enough acts to submit for the fest. And he came to me and said, "Can you help me find bands that would come play?" And so we made friends way back in the opening day. And a few years ago, he had a forum on Facebook where he was talking with the bands who were going to be playing. And I said to him, "Hey, Joe, if any of your bands would like to send me a CD for review and consideration, I'd be more than glad to listen." And Michael Gray, who's the head of American Beauties, sent me a CD. Jen and I listened. On first listen, first of all, I rarely replay anything. I played it like 3 times in a row, and right then and there got a hold of Michael Gray and offered him a spot in the roster. That's how impressed I was.
So let's have a listen to this one. This is Gone Gone by American Beauties.
Someplace I can't find. It's a long, long day to think about you gone, gone. Nobody expects to know it's coming down that lonesome road. It's gonna take some time to shed the tears I'd saved from so many years in love. Now you're someplace I can't find. Photographs take me there to you. There I see the future in your eyes. But the future left me without you in my life. Not sure if that is something I can ever hope to hide. just be gone, gone. So many years I loved you. Now you're someplace I can't find. Memories take me there to you. There I see the future in your eyes. But the future left me without you in my life. Not sure if that is something I can ever hope to hide.
Oh, very nice. You know, far be it from me to play matchmaker, but I would love to throw him and Chris Schindler in a room together and see what happened.
Wouldn't they be great?
Because their music is in the same, it's on the same page. It really is. I hear the influences of REM in American Beauty's music and the vocals, and him and Chris, I mean, they're not, I don't want to say they're identical, but they're similar.
Michael, to me, has a little bit of a couple of artists that I really love, one of which is Neil Young. And the band itself has a little bit of the Eagles, I want to say.
Okay, yeah, a little bit of Eagles flavor. But Neil Young is
Yeah.
a huge influence on Chris, too. In fact, it was one of the top 4 that I got right.
Yeah, I love Neil Young. I'm a gigantic Neil Young fan, like after the gold rush.
Maybe we should do that for one of our shows.
Yeah.
Hook those two up and don't tell them. Sort of like one of those surprise, this is your life kind of deals.
Haha. Isn't it funny, though, when you select music, because I listen to music every day, people are sending me their bad hip hop and everything else every day. It's really rare to find someone like as good as Chris Schindler and as good as Michael Gray.
Right.
They're
I
the
know.
exception to the amount of normal submissions that we get.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
I've been fairly lucky with submissions to this show, and with a few exceptions. But I wanted to mention next week, because I'm really excited to have Hallie Lauren on the show. She just got back from Seoul, Korea. Also, she was at the Montreal International Jazz Festival, performed there. She was at the Rochester International Jazz Festival.
Where is she from originally? Like, where's her home base?
I'm not sure. She's American. I'll find out when we have her on the show. But anyways, so she's going to be on the show next week, and looking forward to having Hallie Lauren on. The last one we've got for the Ladylake roster is Rick Winnow, and I've got a story about him, but I'm not sure that it's him. I got to find out. I got to ask him or talk to him. 15 years ago or so, I was on a site called mp3.com. And I swear he was on there too. And I think we were on each other's playlist, but I can't confirm that yet until I talk to him. So
then we say allegedly.
we say allegedly I was on. We were on each other's playlist, and we knew each other
right.
through that website, which was one of the first music sharing websites out there. It's no longer with us, but his name sounds so familiar that I'm sure he was on there. But we'll see. We'll figure that one out. So, what have you got about Rick Winnow?
Rick's new song, Take That Chance, which is what I believe we're going to be hearing and playing, is a kind of a departure from his normal singer-songwriter. It's got a little bit of like snaz and soul, and just see what you think of this one.
Okay. Well, this is Rick Winnow and Take That Chance.
feeling. Where will this go? Is it right to love you? Tell me, how do I know? And kissing you softly, feeling your touch. There's no better time, baby, when you're here like this. For so long I have waited for someone like you. No turning back, I know it's true. My love, I can't hide it. You're here in each beat of this heart. This heart, it's been broken. With you, I can take that chance. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't say a word now, just keep looking like that. Face of an angel, eyes of a child. Now it's long since I've loved. Now to hold you like this, never thought I could have this feeling again. For so long I have waited for someone like you. No turning back, only I know it's true. My love, I can't hide it. You're here in each beat of this heart. This heart, it's been broken. With you, I can take that chance. Whoa, whoa. For so long I have waited for someone like you. There's no turning back, only I know it's true. My love, I can't hide it. You're here in each beat of this heart. This heart, it's been broken. With you, I can take that chance. Take that chance. Take that chance. Take that chance.
Well, I wasn't expecting that at all. That's the first time I've heard that song.
Yeah, brand new song.
Got a lot of different influences in there, though, huh? It's like you said, I think Michael McDonald.
I hear
and-
some Michael McDonald
Yeah.
in there.
I hear Chicago.
Maybe Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, it's that smooth jazz kind of sound.
Yeah, except for normally he does the acoustic guitar that you would be used to for a singer-songwriter.
Right, that's
So
what
this
I
is
was
the departure.
expecting. I was expecting singer-songwriter, guitar, folk song, not this one.
He's got a very good voice, and he's really skilled on a guitar. I heard him live. There was a live broadcast. Homegrown Radio New Jersey was doing a live broadcast of Pat DiNizio and Friends. Rick, at that point, was one of the friends, and he did an acoustic version of All Along the Watchtower, which blew me away.
That's a great song to do.
Everyone we have is good. And I know I sound like I play favorites, but I think they're all fantastic.
No, you've picked a good bunch. I definitely commend you on having excellent taste in music.
Oh, you're one of them.
Well, of course. I wouldn't say it otherwise. No, I'm kidding. Everybody on your roster's great. Well, listen, we are out of time. We just blew through that hour like nothing. So I want to thank Lori Diamond and Fred Abatelli, American Beauties, and Rick Winnow for allowing us to play their wonderful music on the show. Thank you very much. I want to give another shout out to the other Josh Turner. I've sent him an email. I really want this kid on my show, so I hope he decides to come on the show because I would love to talk to him. But please check him out on Facebook.com/the other Josh Turner. You will not be disappointed. And please tune in next week, September 8th at 3 p.m. right here for international jazz singer Hallie Lauren. She is an amazing singer, and I'm anxious to talk to her and hear her story. So this is Douglas Coleman saying goodbye.